some point before you leave, you have to tell me how Griff's doing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is One Broadway Collaborative. I'm Aaron Tornberg, and I'm very pleased to present an old friend who's back in Massachusetts for a few days, and he is visiting us to perform at various venues, and One Broadway is one of them. If you'd like to know more about what happens at One Broadway, check out our website, onebroadway.org. That's onebroadway.org. And if you want to check out Mark Bishop Evans, you can go to markbishopevans.net, but he'll tell you more about that probably. In any case, let's hear it for Mark Bishop Evans.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, yeah, so I spent 30 years here on the East Coast, and I moved out to Phoenix in December, or moved out west in December of 21. But I was here in July of 2021, and I don't know if you remember, but it started raining on July 1st, and I don't think it stopped, actually. I think it's still raining. July was the wettest July on history, July of 21. So I thought, with all this rain, you should probably write a song about rain, right? So I did write a song about rain, but it's not really about rain. It just uses rain as a metaphor. So it's called Still It Rains. I don't think I've ever been so lonely. I don't think I've ever been so cold. And it seems it just might rain forever. While I'm just standing here collecting useless tears. Think I've ever been so lost, or just mislaid my will for living, and it seemed it just might rain forever, while I'm just standing here collecting random fears. Once knew something more than pain, but then it rained. Oh, how it rained. I lost my will to try again in the rain. Still it rained. So sad. Don't think that I'll forget this story. And it seems it just might rain forever, while I'm just standing here convinced the sky will clear while it rains. Knew something more than pain, but then it rained. Oh, it rained. lost my will to try again. In the rain, still it rains. Don't think I've ever been so sad. I don't think that I'll forget this story. And it seems it just might rain forever. While I'm just standing here, convinced the sky will clear while it rains. And it rains, still it rains, and it rains, still it rains. Thank you. Still it rains. So, one of the oldest songs that I still play that I wrote, Picture If You Will. You know where that comes from? Remember where that comes? Twilight Zone. Rod Serling. Picture If You Will. All right, okay. Picture If You Will. A town common, someplace here in New England. Early 1900s, let's say. You know, the gazebo at one end and the big willow tree at the other end of the... And it's a Saturday evening, and the fiddle and the banjo and the mandolin, the guitar are all up there on the gazebo playing, and the people of town are dancing around. And out here underneath the willow tree, there's a young man and a young woman. And he's about to ask her a question. Her name is Liza. Liza, Liza, won't you come and dance with me around that old willow tree? Share my soul, share my mind tonight. Liza, Liza, won't you come and sing your song until my memory is gone? Sing it high, sing it soft, sing it low. Liza, Liza, won't you sing and dance tonight? Liza, Liza, won't you say that it's all right? Liza, Liza, won't you let your hair fall down? Falling softly all around. Let it fall to the floor. Liza Moore. Liza, Liza, won't you come and stay with me? Come down softly by my side, been my friend for a while, be my bride. Liza, Liza, won't you stay with me tonight? Liza, Liza, for the rest of my life. Liza, Liza, won't you come and dance with me? Around that old willow tree, been my friend for a while, be my bride. Been my friend, made me smile, Liza mine. Liza, Liza. Yeah.
So you have some people online watching, just so you know. Tuber Tuba says that was one of his faves.
Cool.
That's Rick Page, I think.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to comment on anything and get a message to Mark, I'll be happy to do that.
Yeah, if you have something you want to hear, help me decide what I'm going to play. Shout it out. If I know it, I'll do it. I promise I won't do songs I don't know. That's a... Songwriters have a tendency to write songs about things that they know about. One of the things that they know about, a lot of songwriters have pets. You know, they have dogs or cats or, you know, so there's a bunch of songs out there about dogs and cats and birds, and there's a slew of songs about horses. You know, that's a big deal, right? I used to, at one time of my life, I had dogs and cats and horses all at the same time, and birds and a squirrel. But that was many years ago. I don't have any of those anymore, but I still have a pal. Well, the alligator is my pal. He can be your pal too. All you have to realize, he's got feelings too. You got feelings too. Yeah, he's got feelings too. Now, an alligator loves his swamp and all the bugs and snakes, but he'd be just as happy in a river or a lake, a river or a lake. How about in your lake? Well, the alligator's got big eyes and teeth as long as this. But don't be frightened when he smiles unless you are a fish. Are you a fish? Oh no, I don't think you're a fish. Well, he'd like it if you came on by to visit for a while. But just remember, he'll get pissed if you call him crocodile, 'cause he's the alligator alligator, yeah. He's the alligator, alligator, yeah. Well, he loves to swim around his pond. He never has to work, 'cause Izod sends him royalties from his picture on a shirt, picture on a shirt. Got his picture on a shirt. Now the alligator loves to play, and he never sings the blues. He'd like him better as a friend than wearing him as shoes, wearing him as shoes. Don't go wearing him as shoes. Well, he'd like it if you came on by to visit for a while. Just remember, he'll get pissed if you call him Crocodile, 'cause he's the alligator, alligator, yeah. Yeah, he's the alligator, alligator, yeah. Well, he's the alligator, alligator, yeah. Alligator. Yeah. Hmm?
There's a difference between an alligator and a crocodile?
They're two different species. Yeah. Yeah, alligator's got the wide mouth. Crocodile's got the narrow mouth. That's the easiest way to tell them apart. Yeah. I'm a sci-fi and fantasy book fan, and so it's kind of natural that, you know, some of that's going to bleed into my songwriting from time to time. This is a song called My Fantasies, and actually the children can stay in the room because they're not that kind of fantasies, but it is a love song. Like daffodils and butterflies, dragon clouds in summer skies, autumn trees and cherry pies, or fishes in the sea. Like Marian and Robin Hood, or ancient rocking chairs of wood, that long before the hearth have stood in hospitality. Like waking to an elven song, finding out that you belong to a family both kind and strong, where all are wise and free. A sword of steel and armor bright, and campfires glowing in the night, are leading a most noble fight to keep the kingdom free. All of these things come true when I just look at you. Everything Listen, my heart just sings, soars through the sky on wings reserved for gods and kings. Now they're for me. Like falling down a rabbit hole, or reading an enchanted scroll, or dancing with a mountain troll, or talking with a tree. All these feelings in me rise, and more that I cannot disguise, when I get lost within your eyes and live my fantasies. And all of these things come true when I just look at you. Everything old is new. How can that be? Listen, my heart just sings, soars through the sky on wings reserved for gods and kings. Now they're for me. Listen, my heart just sings, soars through the sky on wings reserved for gods and kings, but now they're for me. Now they're for me. My fantasies. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what to say about this song other than I really like it. It's called Dominoes. I enjoyed the hell out of writing it. I guess it's a fun song to write. Now who knows why men prophesy and then deny what they imply? They magnify what underlies the need to justify. And pedigrees aren't guarantees of living free of life's debris. The destiny of refugees begins as fantasy. At end of day, as visions fade, in sad display of what we've made, the slow decay that overlays corruption's underway. And in this place the egos race in frantic pace to win their place. In every case this fate they face, how not to be erased. Can any know what mysteries show from wild seeds sown on high plateaus? Things that grow in rigid rows will fall like dominoes. We often find that peace of mind is so entwined with being blind that to unwind the ties that bind will leave you more confined. And when the song is somehow wrong, you find the throng won't sing along. Pretending strong will just prolong. Your agony drags on. And any know-it mystery show from wild seeds sown on high plateaus, things that grow in rigid rows will fall like dominoes. Now every plan, yet small or grand, is made to stand the frying pan, as wisdom ran like grains of sand untethered through your hands. And the breath of life is cold as ice. When painted nice, it will entice and bring you twice the going price, or cut you like a knife. Can any know-it mystery show from wild seeds sown on high plateaus, things that grow in rigid rows will fall like dominoes? Can any know-it mystery show from wild seeds sown on high plateaus, things that grow in rigid rows will fall like dominoes? They fall like dominoes. They fall like dominoes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. So, as songwriters, you know that it's great to be able to tell a story in a song. But one thing that I found is you never want the truth to get in the way of the story. You know, story has to tell itself, and if it doesn't exactly line up with reality, too bad. This is a story that started out as true and kind of went its own way. She opened the door, and a smile touched her eyes. She couldn't have known who was there. I looked like a waif standing there in the rain, but somehow I knew she wouldn't care. She opened her arms and she offered a sigh, and then she said, "Well, what have we here?" I gathered her up, held her close to my heart, and felt all the time disappear. The time disappeared. She invited me in from the night and the cold. Would you care for a warm cup of tea? Here, give me that coat. Can you stay for a while? It feels like it's been centuries. couldn't help notice how the passing of time hadn't touched her at all. And the joy of this girl that I loved wasn't hard to recall. How can we know that the love of a friend could run as deep as the sea? Take all the love that is there when you can. Life gives you no guarantee, no guarantee. We sat and we talked of the lives we had known, all of the sorrows and all of the joys. We both had our share of stories to tell. Oh, by the way, how are your boys? Finally came around to the past we had shared, as both of us knew that it would. Remembering nights far beyond any dream, and sharing what love that we could, the love that we could. Morning has come and we're still sitting here. The night in the past flown away. Turning I saw she was looking at me. So tell me, how long can you stay? How can we know the love of a friend has run as deep as the sea? Take all the love that is there when you can. Life gives you no guarantee, no guarantee. Thank you. A semi-true story. And here is an absolutely made-up story. This story has been told 1,000 times, in movies and books and other songs. And this is my version of that story. This is called By the River in the Vale. There's a cottage in the meadow where the singer, he lives alone. They say that he had family once that are all past or grown. And sometimes you'll hear music when you're walking on that trail. It happens most at twilight by the river in the vale. It was many years ago now that he walked into that vale, sitting by the river there in twilight soft and pale. Her smile had took his breath away and warmed him to the core. And from that moment on, his heart was hers forevermore. So they married in the springtime, soon they had a son. Then they had a daughter, and then another one. It was said they had a love so deep to make the ocean stir. And every song the singer sang was another song for her. Well, it happened in the winter, as these things often do. A fever came and took her, and it almost took him too. What saved him was the children who were still so young and frail. And they buried her at twilight by the river in the vale. Now alone he raised his children to be loving and be strong, and they mostly knew their mother by the songs their daddy sung. Now they often come to visit him to listen to the tales of the lovers in the twilight by the river in the vale. And the sunshine on the meadow and a breeze among the trees, hand in hand they walk the hills within his memories. They say that he's just waiting there to let his heart take sail, to join her in the twilight by the river in the vale. Now they say he walks the meadow and plays his old guitar, singing songs he wrote for her beneath the moon and stars. And sometimes you'll hear music when you're walking on that trail. It happens most at twilight by the river in the vale. And the sunshine on the meadow and a breeze among the trees, hand in hand they walk the hills within his memories. And he finally finished waiting, and he let his heart take sail, and he joined her in the twilight by the river in the vale. And finally they're together by the river in the vale. Thank you. Thank you. I've been writing for 54 years, off and on, I mean, not steady right through, but I wrote my first song when I was 20, so And the first 25 songs or so that I wrote don't exist anymore, and for really good reasons. This is the most recent song that I've written. Sometimes songwriters seem to write songs that are way beyond their age. I mean, Joni Mitchell, you know, the Circle Game. I mean, she was 20 when she wrote that song. That song is a song that somebody from 50 years old has that perspective, not from 20. But you know, I was never able to do that. I have to write songs from the perspective of where I am right now. So this is the most recent song that I've written. It's called "Time Becomes Precious." The mist in the morning hides all but the tallest of trees, while the wisp of a warning comes drifting along on a breeze. And although I feel it, I can't find the will to respond. For time becomes precious when you find more than half of it gone. We cling so ferocious to things we can see with our eyes, so blindly precocious, while the unseen might bring us surprise. Caught up in fancies of which we're exceedingly fond, while time becomes precious when you find more than half of it gone. The wind in the willows wring tears from my eyes. Sulking in shadows is not very wise. When you sift through your memories, you'll surely find all kinds of lies. Lost to the lessons, we remain so incredibly blind. Still only seeing the things we expected to find. It's probably time to accept what was true all along. That time becomes precious when you find more than half of it gone. Probably time to accept what was true all along. But time becomes precious when you find more than half of it gone. I said time becomes precious when you find almost all of it gone. Yeah, thank you. I wrote a question on the internet on Facebook, and of course, when you put a question up on the Facebook, sometimes you're looking for answers because you don't know the answer to the question. Sometimes you're trying to see what other people think, right? That was the second option, was why I put the question up. I wrote something to the effect, I don't remember exactly, but something to the effect of what do we search for the most and seldom find? And of course, I had something in mind that, I thought was very profound, right? We all think we're profound, and I got all sorts of, love was kind of like up top of that list. That wasn't where I was going with it, So in the end, I was a little disappointed with the answers because nobody seemed to think what I was thinking. Because I was thinking understanding. I think that we search for understanding constantly, of trying to understand what's going on around us, the people we know, everything, what society's going on, and we seldom actually come to a grip of understanding. So so I wrote this song called "Help Me Understand." There's an old owl outside my window, and he calls the whole night through, and his song is full of sorrow. The reason why I never knew. Sometimes I sit inside my shadow and gaze upon the rising sun, there to ease my pain and sorrow. For my toil is far from done. So sister, come, stand here beside me. Brother, come and take my hand. Father, shine your light to guide me. Mother, help me understand. They call my name, they think to own me, but they can't see beyond their schemes. They cannot hear the words I'm saying, or catch a glimpse of what they mean. I hear the storm clouds part before me. I see the thunder call my name. Soon I will break these chains that bind me. Soon I will quench the burning flame. So sister, come, stand here beside me. Brother, come and take my hand. Oh, Father, shine Mother, help me understand. I find my peace beside this river where water tumbles over stones. Here my heart can rest forever. Here at last I found a home. So sister, come, stand here beside me. Brother, come and take my hand. Oh, Father, shine your light to guide me. Mother, help me understand. Mother, help me understand. Mother, help me understand. Thank you. Well, I have to do this song because Aaron asked for this song. And actually, the truth is, this song would not exist except for Aaron. This was a prompt that Aaron gave me. And it was awful. But I got this kind of fun song out of it, so, you know. The prompt was turtle shell. Mm-hmm. Turtle shell. I found a turtle shell on the beach one day. I had to think it queer that the turtle could come to lose a thing so obviously dear. As I made my way back home alone, I really think I knew the way that poor old turtle felt on the day when I lost you. Like an ocean without a swell, like a flower without a smell, like a wizard without a spell, yeah, that's me. Like a dog without a bone, I'm going to spend my life alone. Like a turtle without a shell, yeah, that's me. Found a rabbit's foot hanging on a pole in the booth at the county fair, and I wondered how that rabbit felt and if he had the foot to spare. As I made my way back home alone, I really think I knew the way that poor old rabbit felt on the day when I lost you. Like an ocean without a spell, like a flower without a smell, like a wizard without a spell, yeah, that's me. Like a dog without a bone, I'm gonna spend my life alone. Like a turtle without a shell, yeah, that's me. Saw a hot rod at an auto show with a foxtail flying high. And I'll bet that fox, when he lost that thing, had to sit right down and cry. Does he wander through the forest now in a daze the way I do? Does he miss his long and fluffy tail as much as I miss you? Like an ocean without a swell, like a flower without a smell, like a wizard without a spell, yeah, that's me. Like a dog without a bone, I'm gonna spend my life alone. Like a turtle without a shell, yeah, that's me. Like a hammer without a nail, or a handle without a pail, like a schooner without a sail, yeah, that's me. Like a traveler without a home, I'm gonna spend my life alone. Like a turtle without a shell, yeah, that's me. Like a turtle without a shell, yeah, that's me. All right. Well, what time is it? All right. Okay. Fourth iron. My mom grew up in San Diego, and she was in her late teens, early 20s during the Second World War. And she grew up in a fairly affluent family, and they were in kind of high society, you know, in San Diego back in the 40s. And my grandfather was a Mason, and if you know what that is, and my grandmother was an Eastern Star, and my mom was in Job's Daughters, and she was actually Queen of Job's Daughters in San Diego, which was a big deal in that society. When the Second World War came, there was one USO in San Diego, and San Diego was a huge military town during that time, Navy and Marines. But there was one USO downtown, and my mom volunteered downtown with a lot of her friends. They used to go down there and help serve, you know, the servicemen. And she was actually elected Queen of the USO, so she was Queen of the USO. She really enjoyed traveling in her life. She had, you know, she went through cancer, a number of different husbands, and, you know, I mean, she had her ups and downs, just like everything else. Her and I were kind of estranged for many, many years, and when she finally moved back east to be near me, and we kind of got our act back together again. And we used to, one of her favorite places was up in north of Conway in New Hampshire. If you go up 302 out of Conway through North Conway and Jackson and head up towards Crawford Notch, and off to the right-hand side of the road up there, there's a turnout. It's called Fourth Iron. And there's a parking lot there next to where the road goes over the Sawyer River, which comes out of the mountains and goes down and meets the Saco. And there's a parking lot there, and that parking lot is for a campground that's back in the woods someplace. But in between, that parking lot sits in between the highway that goes over the Sawyer River, and on the other side is a train trestle that goes over the Sawyer River. That train trestle is called Fourth Iron. And it's part of the Conway Scenic Railway system now. So when she passed away, at 95, I took her ashes up to Fourth Iron on December 22nd with 3.5 foot of snow. I had to park on the road because the parking lot's closed. And I gingerly made my way out onto the train trestle in all this snow, and I dumped her ashes into the Sawyer River because I knew that's what she would want. I came home and I wrote this song. It's called Fourth Iron, Queen of the Ball. There's a place in the mountains a bit north of Conway. A train trestle spans the ravine. They call it the fourth iron for obvious reasons. The fourth bridge that crosses the stream. Late in her life, she would sometimes just sit there, watch as the water rolled by, giving thanks for the goodness her 95 years had supplied. Born to a family of adequate means, deep in society's game, grew up the apple of everyone's eye, gathered some honors and fame. Beautiful child that more often smiled than ever gave into a frown, more glad in the forest than wearing tiaras or gowns. She rose to the top of society's pedestal, had all that she could desire. When war took the nation, she rushed to the aid of the boys that the country required. Served without thought all the ones who had fought and were so often far from their homes. So they made her the queen of the ball, and they called her their own. Now I'm standing on fourth iron over the water that rushes and tumbles and falls. As the mist in the valley collects in my eyes, I remember the queen of the ball. My tears and her ashes all mingle together as the memories pour down like rain, and I cling to the thoughts of the woman who loved me, and I cherish the joy and the pain. By the end of the war, there were men by the score, all rushing to ask for her hand. But she loved a Marine who was dashing and clean. Soon at the altar they'd stand. Next came her son, and she'd have only one, which was something she couldn't have known. And when the soldier took leave, then she raised up her baby alone. For most of her years, her son wasn't near, having wandered far off on his own. And although she grieved, she always believed someday he'd wander back home. Now that didn't happen in the way she supposed, but it still came around in the end. 40 years later, they found out they were still friends. So late in her 80s, she moved to the east, there to be close close to her boy. With walks in the forest and drives by the sea, they recaptured those lost bits of joy. She opened her heart, she told him her story, shared all her loves and her pain. They laughed and they cried, then afterward he did the same. For 95 summers, 95 springtimes, 95 winters and falls, she laughed and she cried, but all she would say is how much she was blessed by it all. If you're one of those folks who was lucky to know her, I'm sure you will always recall the smile on her face and the grace of the queen of the ball. Now I'm standing on 4th Iron over the water that rushes and tumbles and falls. As the mist in the valley collects in my eyes, I remember the queen of the ball. My tears and her ashes all mingle together as the memories pour down like rain, and I cling to the thoughts of the woman who loved me, and I cherish the joy and the pain. Yes, I cling to the thoughts of the woman who raised me and fashioned the man I became. Thank you. We'll have a couple more songs for you here, and we'll call it a night. This is called A Laugh or Two. After all the words have come and gone, after winter days so cold and long, well, finally we're alone, and there is no more trying. Maybe we could have a laugh or two. Wouldn't try to bring you any pain, or chase away your sun or bring you rain. All I have in mind, after all the time together, maybe we could have a laugh or two. I don't have a mind to try and change the tide, more than just a question of our pride that kept driving us on. But after all the songs, after days so long and weary, maybe we could have a laugh or two. no way to count the time in years. And pride can't stop the loneliness and tears. Only time can heal. So after no regrets, after all the bets are canceled, maybe we could have a laugh or two. After moonlight fades into the dawn, pushing back the clouds to find the sun. Remember, if you will, all the times our hearts were flying, and maybe we could have a laugh or two. Maybe we could have a laugh or two. Maybe we could have a laugh or two. Thank you. I've taken to finishing all my programs now with this song. I actually wrote it a couple of years, maybe 3 years ago now. 2 or 3 years ago, I don't remember exactly. It was on, I wrote it on Martin Luther King Day. The song is called There Is Still a Dream. There is still some time for all of us to learn how to be kind, and compassion's hard to find for everyone, no matter where they're from. There is still some time. There is still a love that fills the world and all the stars above, and it surely is enough to make us start and change the human heart. Yes, there is still a love. There is still a dream burning in man's heart for being free. A prayer from all humanity, a simple plea for human dignity. There is still a dream. human dignity. I'll have you know that there is still a dream. Now there is still a song that echoes through the forest loud and strong, that the time has come to right the wrongs for every man, black or red or tan. The time has come to right the wrong. There is still a dream burning in man's heart for being free, a prayer from all humanity, a simple plea for human dignity. Yes, there is still a dream. I'll have you know that there is still a dream. Thank you very much. Thank you, kind folks. Aaron, thank you.
And thank you, Mark. It was a great show. We had some viewers online. Thank you to all the online viewers. If you want to know more about One Broadway, go check out our website, onebroadway.org. That's onebroadway.org. And thank you to all the people who came in person, all 800 of them. And thank you for coming. And yeah, wave up to the rafters, Mark. They're waving up there. So there's a lot of events coming up, and you can check that out on our website. But always we have open mic on Sunday, and we have a comedy open mic on Monday as well. So please check that out on the website. Everybody have a great week, and see you soon.
Thank you. All right.
Hold on, Mark. Okay, don't hold on.